Okay, so we're looking now at the next part, which is it's not really a different thing to what you've been doing, but just a little change. So what we're heading is degrees, minutes, and seconds. Okay, so when you have a protractor, like I'm trying a really rough protractor. Now you can obviously measure angles, and normally students just measure the angles and give their answer to the nearest whole number. Like it might be 60 degrees, 120 degrees, 47 degrees. Okay, so that's not too hard so far. But you should be able to see also in a protractor that there's spaces in between each degree. So between 1 degree and 2 degree, there's a space in between. And these spaces are the smaller parts of a degree. And we have a conversion. So we have 1 degree, we call that 1 degree equals 60 minutes. So for instance, if you have half a degree, you have half of 60, which is 30. So half of 60, okay, can't quite see the 60 there, but there's a 60 there equals 30. So it's pretty easy to convert. And when we did earlier calculations finding angles in triangles, so when we did it before in trigonometry, we were always rounding, okay, to the nearest degree. But your calculator will do all the hard work for you. So you don't have to worry about this sort of calculation. The calculator does it for you. Okay, so don't need to copy anything down on that page. But here's the conversion, if you do want to know. If you have 1 degree, you have 60 minutes, and that symbol there is degree, and a single stroke means a minute. So 1 degree equals 60 minutes. But in between the minutes, even though you can't see them on a protractor, in between the minutes there are even smaller parts, and these are called seconds. And luckily enough, it's like time. 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So the symbol for minutes is 1 stroke, and the symbol for seconds is 2 strokes. Okay, so they're really, really small bits. So copy that page, and when you're ready, come to the next slide. Okay, so here we go, trying to find an angle. Trying to find an angle just like we did before. So we have to label the sides. So that's the hypotenuse, that's the opposite, and the third side's the adjacent. So again, you can do your SOHCAHTOA if you're not sure why it's a sine. Okay, there's no adjacent, so I can't use cos and I can't use tan, it must be sine. So sine equals opposite over hypotenuse of 3 over 7. So theta equals sine minus 1, which we've got to press the shift button. That gives us a sine minus 1. And then you get this really, really messy decimal, 25.37693352. And that answer is in degrees. Okay? So what you do now is, on your calculator, there's a button that looks like a circle, apostrophe, and 2 apostrophes. And that's your degrees, minutes. That's your degrees, minutes, and seconds button. So some other calculators like Sharps, they might have a button called DMS, but on the Casios it's a circle, apostrophe, and then 2 apostrophes. And if you just press that button with that long decimal there, if you press it, it breaks it up into 25 degrees, 22 minutes, and then 36.96 seconds. Okay? So the calculator does it for you. You don't have to do any conversions. So if the answer was to the nearest degree, okay, 22 minutes is under halfway, because halfway is 30. So 25 degrees, 22, it just stays as 25. But if it was to the nearest minutes, okay, so we got to the nearest minute, so it's 22 minutes, but no, 36.96 is over halfway, because halfway is 30 again. So 22 minutes becomes 23 minutes. And if you're rounding to the nearest second, which you don't often have to do, but if you're rounding to the nearest second, so we've got 36 seconds, but no, it's not 36, because 0.9 rounds it up to 37. Okay. So copy that down, and there's one for you to do on the next slide. Okay, so I want you to try this one for yourself. Same setting out, work out if it's a sine, cos, or tan, and then when you're ready, press play again and see how we go. Okay, so hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent, SOHCAHTOA. There's no hypotenuse, so you can't use sine and you can't use cos. It is a tan question. So tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. So theta equals tan minus 1/35. So you press, get calculator on, shift, tan 3 over 5, press equals, and you get a really ugly number, 30.96 blah 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 565653, and that's in degrees. and then you press the degrees, minutes, seconds button, and you get 30 degrees, 57 minutes, 49.52 seconds. And so, to the nearest degree, the answer is 31 degrees, because 30 with 57, 57 is over halfway, halfway is 30, so it becomes 31. To the nearest minutes, it's 30 degrees, and 57 is not the right answer because 49 is over halfway, so it becomes 58. And to the nearest second, which you don't have to do very often, 30 degrees, 57 minutes, and the answer is not 49 seconds because 0.5 is over the halfway, so it becomes 50 seconds. Okay, and I think that might be it. No, it might be one more. What's it say? Okay, so the last thing is, okay, so we found an angle. Now we have to find a side when the angle is given as not a whole number. So we'll just do this one together. So that's the hypotenuse. That's the opposite, so the last side's the adjacent. So, car, toa, there's nothing on the hypotenuse, so sine and cos are dead. So, tan, 35 degrees, 18 minutes equals opposite over adjacent. X is on top, so it's a multiply. So on your calculator, you put a 3. You press the times button, you press tan, you don't use shift because we've got the angle so we don't have to shift. Then you put your 35 and then you hit your degrees, minutes, seconds button, then you press 18. Now you don't have to press degrees, minutes, second button again, you'd only do that if you had some seconds, so let's just leave it at that. You press your equals button, okay, so let's just do that again. 3 times tan, 35 degrees, 18 minutes, so you don't press degrees, minutes, seconds button again. Press equals. Oh, you do have to, so I got a syntax error, so you do have to press. Okay, so back here, you do have to press it again, then press equals. Okay, I got an error when I did it, so I hope you probably will too. 3 times tan, 35 degrees, 18. And then hit the degrees, minutes, second button again. So on the calculator it looks like it's another circle, but that's what it is. Then press equals, and so the answer is 2.124 and whatever meters, so it might be just 2.1 meters to one decimal place. Okay, so that's how you use your degrees, minutes, second button to convert or to find a side when you're given an angle. Okay, I hope you found that one enjoyable. Thanks, see ya.